Hey everybody, John Harris here, managing partner with Fortune Management. Got a topic that has come up numerous times, not just throughout my career, but especially here several times the last few weeks. I want to take a few minutes and share with you my opinion on the subject. The topic is I don't have time. Some common feedback that we constantly get, doctors, when you're, managing your businesses and you need your team to work on reactivation, or you need them to work on marketing, or work on, re-engineering the schedule, make it more efficient, more productive, etc. A common concern that we get is I don't have time, or you may have an administrative coordinator that doesn't have time to file insurance claims, or we don't have time to do sterilization, or whatever. So I don't have time seems to be a common theme, and the reality is that, and this is just my opinion now. I don't suggest that I know everything. I don't suggest I know a lot. I hope I know a little bit about a little bit, and I try to share that little bit with as many people as possible. So the reality is that I don't have time. There's no such thing as that. It doesn't exist. You've heard people say that you don't manage time, you manage priorities, and I absolutely believe that 100%. Bottom line is if it's a priority for you, if it's a priority for the doctor, he or she will find time to do it. If it's a priority for the team member, he or she will find time to do it. If it's a priority for me, I guarantee you I'm going to find time to do it. I'm on my way to the gym because I made time to do it. Bottom line is if it's a priority, you're going to make sure that there is time for it. It's not, I don't have time. So when you say I don't have time, try saying it's not a priority and see how that feels. See if it feels any different. Because at the end of the day, that's the truth. It's simply not a priority. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying you're good. I'm not saying you're bad. All I'm saying is at this particular point in time, we are not making this specific task a priority, and therefore we don't have time to get it done. There are other things that we are making priorities above this particular thing. Now, this is where it gets interesting. When you're in a relationship with somebody, whether this is a personal relationship or professional relationship, if it's husband, wife, mother, child, or if it's team member in a dental practice, one of the key components that makes a successful relationship and makes a relationship work is the fact that you prioritize the same way. So if there are things that your spouse makes a priority that you do not make a priority, that's going to be a source of conflict. And the same thing is true in a dental practice. If the doctor makes something a priority, but it's not a priority to the team, there's going to be conflict. There's going to be frustration. There's going to be disappointment. And so the key is you've got to make sure that you are very clear about what the priorities in your organization are. You've got to be very clear about why those things are important, what the benefits and the consequences are if those things do or do not take place, and make certain that everybody is prioritizing in the same way. There's a general rule of thumb that I coach in the practices that I work with, and it's essentially this. Priority number one in a dental practice at any given point in time is the patient in the chair. Nothing ever takes precedence over the patient in the chair. Or if you work in the administrative or the business office, the patient on the phone or the patient standing in front of you. That is priority number one. Nothing takes precedence over that. If you're dealing with a patient, if you've got a patient on the phone and the doctor comes up behind you and asks you a question, you continue to give your attention to the patient on the phone. If you've got a patient standing at the front desk checking in and the phone rings, whatever you do, do not tell that patient to hold on and pick up the phone and answer the phone. I agree. The telephone is a lifeline to new patients. 100% advocate for that. If you're so busy that you don't have time to field phone calls, then there's something else going on there that we need to spend some time to discuss and resolve. But the bottom line is whoever has your attention now, whoever is in the chair right now, whoever is on the phone right now, whoever is standing in front of you right now, that is priority number one for you right now. Now, let's say, for example, you're a hygienist and it's 11 o'clock and your 11 o'clock patient fell off the schedule. Now, what do you do? Where do you take, if you're on a 60-minute hygiene schedule, now what do you do with the 60 minutes that just became available? How do you invest that time? And, by the way, time is something that you invest, okay? This is a different conversation, but there are three things that you can invest in this life. You can invest your time, you can invest your treasure, and you can invest your talent. And wherever you invest those things, you want to make sure that you get a positive return. Wherever you're investing your time, in a employee relationship in a career field, you want to make sure that that investment gives you a return. Wherever you're investing your money, obviously in your IRA, your 401k, in your business, real estate, you want to make sure that you're getting a positive return. Wherever you invest your talent, if you volunteer your time on the weekends, if you do the Mid-South Mission of Mercy or the Georgia Mission of Mercy, or you do things like Freedom Day that we do with a lot of our clients across the country, that's an investment of your talent. You're taking your skill, your gift, and you're volunteering that, you're investing it in a good cause. And there is no greater return than that, in my opinion. So priority number one at any given point in time is the patient in the chair, the patient on the phone, or the patient standing in front of you at the front desk. Priority number two is get a patient in the chair, on the phone, or at the front desk. It makes perfect sense, because if the top priority in your practice is the patient in your care right now, then it's clearly the getting a patient in the chair is priority number two, because that's the very first thing, and that's the only thing that's going to immediately turn around and put a patient in your care. So priority number one is take care of the patient that's with me right now. Priority number two is get a patient to take care of. So what does priority number two look like? It looks like hygiene reactivation. It looks like treatment reactivation, finding patients who have fallen out of our ReCare program, calling those patients, encouraging them and influencing them to schedule their hygiene appointment, to make their oral health a priority, and get them back in. Finding the patients who have not completed treatment plans, call them, get them on the phone, and encourage and influence them to get the treatment scheduled. Marketing. Re-engineering your schedule so that you have more and more productive patients in a shorter period of time. I posted a video a week or so ago about scheduling a goal and how we prioritize the time in the schedule. So we want to find the biggest patient need, the patient that is at the most risk of spending more time, more money, and experiencing pain. We want to find as many of those patients as possible and take care of those patients as soon as possible. That is making your number one priority the patient in the chair, and your patient's top three values and priorities, your top three values and priorities. I hope this was helpful. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to DM me on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. If you like this video, click subscribe down at the bottom. Love to have you tune in on any future posts that I do on our YouTube channel. Until next time, y'all have a great day.